welcome to an exciting new series of Drift City videos known as Drift City Car Spotlight, where I will talk about some of the most interesting, powerful, and rare cars to be added to Drift City, and more specifically, to my garage. And this series will be entirely separate from the Gacha Car Spotlights. Do not get these two series confused. In the Gacha Car Spotlights, I talk about only Gacha cars, and I give them a rating compared to other Gacha cars. And in this series, I'm just going to showcase some cool vehicles that you guys might not know all about in Drift City, and tell you all about them. And the first car for this lovely series is the 321Z BT. And the 321Z BT, well, not necessarily the BT variant, but the 321Z in general is a very special car to my heart because it is the Datsun 240Z, which is my favorite car ever produced. Reason why, I couldn't tell you if I tried. I just like the car. But hey, to all their own, right? And 321Z is a gacha car. It was released, I'd say maybe 2 years ago now. It has been in the game for quite some time, and I was very excited when it was finally released. I've been very, very hyped for this car, and when it was released, I was just, ballistic. I just had to have one, even going as far in the game's campus version of this game to have a V9 ST 321Z, and it was my main race car. And for these Drift City car spotlights, I'm also going to give you guys a little bit of an in-depth view on this car in a couple categories. And not that I'm really going to compare these categories to other cars, like in the Gacha Car Spotlights, but I'm just going to give you a general synopsis of whether, this car is for you or not. So let's start with the first topic, which is affordability. This car in particular that I got started as a 321Z V3 BT, and I got it in the auction house, obviously, for 200,000 Mito. Which I believe is pretty affordable for this car, and given that it's not exactly a powerful car in terms of being competitive with other racers, especially because it's a BT variant and not an ST variant, so it's a regular sized car. But it's also a rare car now because you were actually unable to get this car from Gacha now that the Gacha system has changed. Previously, the BT variant of this car wasn't that hard to get, so take that as you will. The car isn't exactly, extremely rare. People might have BTs and STs or NTs, that they might not want, and you might be lucky enough to see them just throw them in the auction house for 50k, 100k, and you can have your own 321Z. An ST version of this car might go as high as 5 or 6 million just for a V1 of this car, and a V9 probably costing somewhere around 25 million when the auction house is open, that is. Which will probably be the only way you'll be able to get this car, unless somebody hung on to some key parts and so on. And the next category to take a look at here is the customizability of the car. And the 321Z doesn't have that many customizable options, but we'll take a look at some of them right here. The first option we have are decals, which are, little bonuses for all the gacha cars in the game. And this gacha car is no exception to that. We have a nice blue stripe that goes down the center of the car with a little bit of text in the center of the stripe that says El Mario Racer. And on the sides and the hood of the vehicle, we have a little sign here that says 321Z that is a parody on the Datsun logo, which had the same shape, just saying Datsun in the center rather than 321Z. And if we take a look at the other decal scheme for this car, if a lot of people know the 321Z or the 240Z, you will know this decal very well. It's the main BRE Racing decal scheme, which I am extremely a fan of. I love this design. Definitely looks great in this game. The colors are a little bit different. It's red and yellow as opposed to red and blue. And it says 321Z and El Mario as opposed to BRE, of course. Not to avoid anything being conflicted with that. But definitely some pretty cool decals available for this car nonetheless. And another thing we can look at are the arrow kits, which this car has none of. So do not think you'll be able to customize this car with any of those cool wings front wing, rear wing, skid skirts, wide bodies, all the stuff you've seen on this car. In real life, it will not be in the game, unfortunately. As for wheels, there are no specialty wheels, but I do think some wheels look pretty good on this car, like the ones that I do have on it. I feel like they fit the car rather well. And there is no special wing on this car. I actually don't think this car really needs a wing. So, the last thing we can take a look at is the performance of this car. And now that I think about it, the way I'm making this video sound, it almost sounds like a gotcha car spotlight, huh? But you know, the performance of this vehicle is pretty mediocre. I come from the ST variant. It makes it a little bit easier on everyone. The car's stats aren't that impressive as a racing car. It was kind of like in the chunk of this car's stats are generic for all gotcha cars at the time, where it had, I believe, like 20% speed reduction on crash, and I believe like turbo start or drift booster, something like that. It was just like the thing that was going on with all the gotcha ST cars at the time. They all had the same abilities, and all different was the stats by a little bit. This car, you know, the durability is kind of bad. It's about half to, you know, a third of the speed in acceleration and about half the boost. But I will say that the car definitely can race. It does have the stats to pull its own weight. This will definitely won't be competitive. And as for a HUF car, well, it's certainly better than all of the current HUF cars, as their sorry, not HUF cars, the current gotcha cars, as their durability is pretty mediocre. But this does have some. So, I mean, if you really want to, you could HUF in this car too. As HUF is a bit more laid back than racing, it's not as competitive, so you're not really looking for the best of the best, but this thing can, you know, swing if you have to. And yeah, that is the first episode of Drift City Car Spotlight on the 321Z. I do love this car. I'm so glad I did find this car in the car auction house when it did open. Super pumped because of that. And if you guys like the 321Z, make sure to tell me down in the comment section below. I do love to read your guys' comments. And also, if you check the link in the description down below, I have a poll up to see which car in my garage that we will review next. And the two cars I have up for selection are Ponica ST and Acrobat. If you guys want a little bit of a Drift City Car Spotlight on those cars, be sure to vote on there. I will probably make a video within maybe a week or so, and we'll see who's the winner of that. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big fat like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because it definitely helps out the channel, and it gives me the good old feeling to pump out more and more videos of Drift City if I know you're liking it. So, until next time, this is Heen, signing out.